Hi, this is Dave, G0OES. Now, if you look at the Facebook group Arati, or whatever you want to call them, they would reckon that these things are the best things on the planet for doing SOTA, POTA, or whatever OTA that you do or aspire to do. Work well. Just remember, this cost £300. That's £300. It's everything in this bag you need except for coax and a one-to-one choke to do a POTA, SOTA, etc. activation. Quite heavy, but it works, it'll get you out. But remember this, when you're doing SOTA, POTA, etc., what you would want to do is just get the minimum requirement of contacts. So for example, with POTA is 10, right? So you just need 10 people to QSO with SSB, FT8, CW, whatever in your activation. So you've got to haul this up wherever you're going to go to, set it up, takes a bit. It's got wing nuts to do my head in, and the radials, you're far better doing what I did. I've covered in other videos, which is just make my own radials, which cost next to nothing with stuff that's knocking about. Crocodile clips are important, and HO8 ham covers that far better than me. But anyway, so remember, £300. So you're going to say, what's the alternative, Dave? Well, the alternative is this. The alternative is two 5.6 metre when fully extended AliExpress whips. Now these cost £10 each, and in the middle is this, which you've probably seen on my video shorts, which cost me £25. So in total, Great British pounds, £45 in total, including everything. So shipping, all that sort of stuff. So that's 45 quid. When you pull these radials out, it immediately tunes to 20 metres, 1.1 to 1. And then you just retract them down and you get used to it. For example, pull it in 4 times on one side and 4 times on the other. Looks rather rude, that does, doesn't it? And once you do that, you're on 17 metres, for example. But you'll get to know a little bit of using your MFJ, a little bit of a Sharpie pen, and you'll mark on where your normal bands are, and you quite quickly tune up, depending on what band you want to go to. Now what you're going to say is, hold on Dave, what about 40 metres? Well, 40 metres, if you've got an ATU with you, you can tune to 40 metres quite easily with them fully extended. And you can tune to any band, I suppose. What I found it works really well within reason. I've got it to tune from 20 to 2 metres, very easily. Very, 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 very easily. However, with the other one that cost £300, remember £45, and the other one that was £300, the £300 one over 15 metres, 15 metres, I find it quite difficult to tune, my experience. In fact, what I found is it works miles better when I get rid of the expensive foldable military whip with it and replace it with one of these. I get better results. Now, that isn't scientific, but my logbook seems to suggest I get better results. So with part of that £300 one and one of these 10, 11 pound antennas, works really well. However, why bother? I don't need to put out radials. I just put this on a tripod. So that's an extra expense. You need a tripod. According to the Facebook Arati, it won't work because it's too close to the ground. 20 metres and only 1.5 metres off the ground with a tripod. It can't work, Dave. It won't work. It just won't work at all. You'll get NVIS and all that sort of stuff. You'll only speak to British stations. Well, with this little antenna extended out, I have contacted right around the world to VK, not meaning to do, just doing a POTA. So sitting there trying to get my 10 activations, and you work all over the place. So there you go, that's a thought for the day. Now there are other stuff you can use there. I'm a big fan of DX Commander, etc, etc, but those are not coil base loaded antennas with a load of radials. They are verticals with a load of radials with no coil, which is a different kettle of fish. Well, I'll show you in future videos. But for now, if you want to do POTA, SOTA, whatever, you want something lightweight you can carry, these screw off, fit in your pack, this fits in your pack, and your tripod weighs next to nothing. You've got something highly effective, and you'll be very, very successful with it. What are your thoughts? Comments below. Thanks for watching. At 73's good DXing.